Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the Drop Room. If I'm not mistaken, it's only episode 2. Blake, is that correct?
That is correct.
It seems so long, but we've been delayed and delayed and delayed because it's darn things happen where events come up and we have to travel to them, or at least I have to travel to them. Maybe someday we'll send you to one of those, but we've seen each other at events every now and then. Last week we were at DreamHack Austin, and it was awesome.
I bet it was. It looked like a good event.
It was fantastic. Let's see highlights of that one. Oh, we may or may not have interviewed Summit. Really personable guy, really personable. I mean, in all honesty, as soon as we started talking to him, he was talking at a level of comfortability where you'd thought he was just some old friend talking to you. It was really cool. Really genuine.
He seems like that. He seems like that. Like his online persona seems like just a genuinely good person. So I would expect him to like carry that through.
And that's like when it comes to streamers, me and a couple of coworkers were talking about this before, is I like the streamers that have really low energy and just are chill. Just they don't, it's not like no offense to Dr. Disrespect or anything, but it's just too much for me. But like Summit, Shroud, all those guys that are just chill, relax. Choco Taco, have you ever watched him before?
I have not.
Super relaxed. Those are my jams. But same thing. Summit has that exact, like what you said, the exact persona on stream as is in person. He's like, there's no fakeness to him at all. It's great.
One of my favorite streamers is actually a League of Legends streamer. I'm a cutie pie, and he's that exact way where it's like he never has like that much emotion. He just plays the game at a high level. So he's just chill all the time, and it's awesome. It's honestly like he's high all the time, but he's not.
So some of the people are starting to show up. Odorous, welcome to the show, man. Welcome. It's nice to have you here.
What's good, Ode?
Yeah, what's good, Odorous? I guess we'll get into the nitty gritty of it. Our topics today are going to be MDL week 2 to 3, and then advanced division as we drop down the tiers of things, and then we'll go down all the way down into the open, where we'll talk about the old guys club who are still undefeated. And then
which is special. It's
kind of special. I think I saw one of your notes where it's like greater than 30 teams are still undefeated, and I went and actually added it up, and I think 78 teams are still undefeated, so it's not too special. They're not a diamond in the rough yet.
Very true. But, they're not 16-0 special. We're waiting for that.
Not quite. But then we'll top things off, a little bit of news about Fragadelphia 12, and then as we were writing the show, some new news has popped up about OP skins and Valve bringing down the banhammer on that. Maybe not the banhammer, but a hammer nonetheless. So they went into full maintenance mode very quickly. We'll see what ends up developing out of that, but we got a little bit of news on that one.
But yeah, we're going to kick it off with MDL. We're going to start at the top and then work our way down here. So the big news, Torqued is rebranded into FYB. I don't know is it an acronym for something, or is it just FYB?
I don't know. My mind always defaults to what it shouldn't be.
Okay.
It's like 4-letter curse word, 5-letter curse word. Like that's what I'm assuming it is.
I think that's some good detective work right there.
Hey, Odorous says it's right.
Okay. Well, then that's just inappropriate, guys. I think they should change their name. But yeah, so now it's just Swag and AZK from Torqued, but they have now brought in Marky and Hunter and Guimont. GMD, the good old Canadian lad, such as myself.
Wait.
French, and I don't.
Guimont, wasn't he on Rogue? Where's my brain on this?
He might have been. There's a possibility that he was on the team, and then Ricky came in to the team, and now Guimont is no more.
I gotta look up this history, because if I'm not mistaken, I wanted to interview Guimont at DreamHack, but I mean, he said no, and then it went into the back of my mind, and then nothing ever came of it.
He said no, probably because he didn't go.
He was on Rogue.
He was.
Oh no,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
Damn. All right, well that happened, sadly.
Yes.
Well, it's good to have Guimont back somewhere. Coming from
He's back
French
in my
Canadians.
love child. My love child, Mountain Dew League. I like having GMD back. He's one of my faves.
So
I'm glad
he
he's
ended
back.
up toting around on the French Canadian side, if I'm not mistaken,
Mm-hmm.
and then French Canadians kind of dissolved, and he may have floated over to Rogue at that point. I don't know if there was an in between, but now he's back to FYB.
Yes, the inappropriate name. We're just
Right.
gonna say four-year boy. Okay, that's all we're gonna do. Four-year boy. There we go. I don't know who the boy is.
Fornicate your female dog. That's way worse.
Yeah, I don't like that one. I like the old one better. So, anyways, they come back. This is the new core FYB. They got Swag, AZK, Marky, Hunter, and Guimont. They come back and they lose. So that's kind of a sad beginning, but they did lose to an undefeated team, Freedom 35, which is a little surprising as well for them to be firing on all cylinders. But then they won back-to-back games. So now they're 3-3. So now the question is, are they legit? Is this a playoff? It's pretty much pug team.
Yeah, very much pug team. I mean, you've got AZK and Swag, which are cores to it. And I read somewhere that Swag was IGLing for the team, which is peculiar to me because, I mean, he's still young. A lot of the IGLs that have been hardened through battle over the years are older guys, if I'm not mistaken. But it's interesting to see that, I mean, maybe it's his time. Maybe this will make him a far more valuable player to have if he's such a good fragger, such a good clutch player, but at the same time also IGLing for the team. A lot of times we've seen Swag playing these lurk roles, and those lurk roles aren't necessarily high action at the get-go. Maybe that works out well for him. Maybe he's in one of these lurk roles where he can dictate the pace of his team because he's not directly pressured and fragging at that moment. Then everybody ends up dying. It doesn't matter. He can IGL himself because he's the only pawn on the board now at that point.
And we know Swag's clutch ability. So I think even after his plan fails from the other side of the map, he can just make it work himself.
Right.
I'm kind of surprised to hear that, though, considering, Swag, we don't know Swag to be that IGL. I've actually known Hunter to be an IGL from when his time in FGE, Fly Guy Entertainment, when the big duo was him and Zelsis. So I'm kind of surprised that they didn't try to bring him in and play that role. So, I mean, hey, whatever works for them. If they're going to be legit, they won back-to-back after that first loss. So maybe they can just keep going, which would be pretty good for them.
So earlier in the last episode we did, we made our predictions of teams to keep an eye on, and I remember being like, all right, Atmosphere Esports, keep your eye on Atmosphere Esports because of Hunter. And now Atmosphere just literally had their heart ripped out of them. And Hunter has gone to FYP. So I'm going to have to change that and say that Atmosphere are not going to have that second gassing that they did in the last season, where they were slow to start like they are this season. And then Hunter turned on and the team went nuts. I don't think it's going to happen this time.
See, they had their heart ripped out, but now they're just having all their limbs taken off because the team is they're making so many changes that, like, I don't know how they're going to be able to, like, keep up with the rest of the league. Yeah, they're making so many changes from what I remember, unless I'm thinking of another team.
I mean, right now they're looking like they're sitting Black Ice, a guy named Booby, Floppy, G-Man,
Smiley, Floppy's gone. He's not even on the team.
Oh, really?
Like, he's not playing with the team anymore. So yeah, I was right. This is the team going through a little bit of a situation. Gutted. Yeah, like now they're playing with a guy named Oni-chan. Little bit of weeb for your life. I'm even wearing an anime shirt right now. Okay,
he's not coming from the Weeaboo Master Lords, is he?
He's not. I promise you, he's not. But
he played on Maine, washed and rinsed.
Yes,
and crows before hose. All right, there we go.
So yeah, he's never had MDL experience, and they're just like, all right, get this guy in here because we're Atmosphere. We don't know what's happening anymore. So let's just compile this team of randoms and that's do great.
That's an org, right? Atmosphere is an org. if I'm not mistaken.
They should be Atmosphere at this point, though. I'm
Uh,
pretty sure that org is gone, much like many MDL orgs. When they
Okay.
come in, they're like, "We'll pay you money." Just kidding, we have no money.
Just kidding. All our good players just got farmed out. We don't want to fund this anymore. So yeah, you're
Exactly.
right. Atmosphere Esports say your logo here, become a sponsor contact now.
Yes.
So that's the way that goes.
So I'm going to bring up another team. I'm going to keep Atmosphere in the mix here, though.
Okay.
46-2, the Mexican team. You got Gonax, Spader, and Secret Agent, I believe. And then they're playing with two guys, Cobra, and I forget the name of the last guy. But they've been playing together quite a while. They played through all of Open, so they got here through Open, I'm pretty sure. They are 0-4?
Yep,
I'm pretty
they
sure.
are. Yep.
0-4. So do they get a win this week? Because they play Atmosphere, so I mean that might turn out well. Then they play Gorilla Gang, and then they play Iceberg, who I'm pretty sure is also known as Squirtle Squad.
Get it out, man.
Literally can't say it at all. Okay, 46-2. Can they get a win out of any of these games?
Maybe against Atmosphere, sure. I mean, these guys ring a bell to me. Secret Agent, Spader. I'd have to look and see where they're coming from. What was their team in the last couple seasons?
Quetzal was their team.
Quetzal, that's it.
Quetzal. I always say Quetzal. So
no, so it is. It's the same roster. It's the same roster.
Well, it's those two guys that like maintained the spot, I guess.
Yes,
even though they went open. But then they brought in a new Mexican guy, Gonax, and then Cobra, and then the other gentleman.
So it's a shame that they're currently 0-4.
Stay frosty.
But I remember Quetzal actually having a decent season, if I'm not mistaken, poking up onto their league history, season 27. 15-1 in Open, and then they got bumped directly into MDL.
Yeah.
That's one of those teams. Got it.
And Quetzal at the time, I'm pretty sure, was playing with Marky for a little bit, and then they were also playing with Bruno, the Peruvian. So for like a short amount of time, they were like kind of good, but not doing so hot right now, which isn't that big of a surprise, I would say.
Yeah, I'm going to keep them off my radar. It's a great name, a great team name. I love 46-2. Do you know where that comes from?
I don't. Personally,
my heart. It's a Tool song. You know Tool, the band, right?
I'm familiar with the name, but I'm not familiar with their music.
Well,
is it a song?
Yes, the song is 46-2. You should definitely listen to that one. I'm sure you've heard it before on the radio, and you just don't know the name of it.
Okay.
But you gotta check out 46-2.
Okay.
Other than that, MDL, any other news on season or week 2 to 3?
Yes, so now Born Esports, who is probably an org you're not too familiar with, or every once in a while a new org comes along. So Born is the newest, the freshest blood of organizations, and right now they're 4-0. And this is basically the team that is one Modem. You got ZNF, you got Paperboy. Yeah, Ponalone, the self-proclaimed NA Fallen is who Ponalone is.
That's a stretch to say that.
He thinks very much of it. Look, Magic Helmet, Ponalone, most underrated player. And you know what? I'll be fair. I also agree with that. Really? I think Ponalone is fantastic. Last season, when I actually did fantasy, he was winning people games. It was ridiculous. So I'll at least give credit where credit is due. I don't know if he's the NA Fallen. I think that's a little extreme.
Yeah, that's a bit much. I mean, they looking at their history so far, the 4 games they played, they took win over Prospects. Meh, nothing new there.
Yeah.
Win over Atmosphere. Meh. Even though that may have been Hunter, but still a slow start to the season, kind of like Atmosphere have been doing. Well, Atmosphere at this point. A win over Azio, meh. But the only gem I'd say here is a win over Gorilla Gang, which actually went 16-13, decently close.
So now the problem that I have now is you have one good game, a close game though. So can you maintain that? Can the NA Fallen, aka Ponalone, maintain that? In their first 2 games, they had 2 people dropping 30 bombs. Will we see more of that? Like, and we're talking 30 bombs in like 25 or less rounds.
That's
like,
crazy. Yeah.
Like, they're doing quite well. So, can they maintain that?
30 bomb in not an extended game is what you're saying. Like one that goes into end of regulation, quick games. 30
yes.
bomb. Well,
so they have a game coming up against really old people. You know, one of your good buddies, E-Mode, is trying to rep the set on really old people. Can they get a win against them? They already have cash picked out. They just have to pick the time that they play. And then they play Jam June. Interesting name. Then they play Blackout, and then they actually play Freedom 35, who's 5-0 right now, and then they play Team Dignitas. So they get like the middle tier right now, and then they just hit like this roadblock.
Yeah. Well, there's the speaking of like whether you have a low road, a high road, or a middle tier in the season so far. One team we just mentioned was Gorilla Gang. They're definitely on the really rough road right now. They had to go against Bravado to start. Yeah. Did lose a game. It looks like 16-0 against Prospects. Don't know if that was a forfeit or not. Suspecting it wasn't. Or no, it was a win over Prospects. I remember that game. I casted that game. That was last second. Who was that? 1v4 pistol ace clutch.
From somebody on Gorilla Gang?
Is that Hydrex? No, it's Vanity. Pretty sure it was Vanity. 1v4 in the 16th round. 1v4 clutch on Nuke. It was disgusting.
What a beauty.
Yeah, and that kept the dream alive. It was like a roller coaster of emotions. Chat was like, oh, it didn't happen. We didn't get a 16-0. It's only Vanity against 4. It's not going to happen. And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. And he just pistol whips. He just backhands everybody. It was gross.
But like, you look at this Gorilla Gang roster, and it's like, wow, this looks pretty good. And then you look at the record, and then you say, wow, that's not pretty good at all.
Yeah, but they have a tough road. I mean, they played Bourne, like you mentioned. They lost to that. They lost to Bravado. Those are 2 losses that are acceptable.
And then they also lost to the new FYB as well. So now maybe they'll get the easier side of the schedule. They got 46-2 right up next. Then they have 8 AZO. So 2 teams that still are winless. So those are probably dubs. I mean, I don't want to be too presumptuous. I think a hot take on the OP skin C's. We will talk about that.
We'll get to it soon, baby. But I keep an eye on Gorilla Gang. That's the team that I would replace Atmosphere with. You just got to eyeball Gorilla Gang, because even though they're 1-4 right now, they're gonna turn around, because once they get past all these difficult teams, it's gonna be a cakewalk from there on out.
Is it gonna be much like the Prospects game?
I don't know about the 16-0. That'll be a rougher road than that. That was cakewalk to them. They were like literally just clowning on them, running around and just whooping. I think there was a couple knives in that game as well.
I wouldn't be surprised. Gorilla Gang is like a team comprised of like really good like trollers. Like Vanity to me is like a really good player, but he trolls a lot.
Yeah,
and you can see it in the way that, like, he tweets and stuff like that. And then Hydrex as well, and people like that. Like it's a troll team, but like it's good at the same time. But then up next, we've got the 5-0 team, the only team in the league 5-0 right now. Freedom 35. Bit of a surprise to me, considering like you got Jonji, who came out of retirement to play on this team. You've got Toy, who has been around a long time, even in the pro scene, and now he's back down here playing on Freedom 35, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't here last season.
If he's on the team, I haven't seen him play. He might just be in a coaching role. I know he was quote unquote like retiring, fading back, and he was picking up admin work at the Mountain Dew leagues. He was doing admin work, but I don't know if that's permanent, because a lot of times players will come and be like, all right, I'm going to retire, and then that's fading in and out. You know, they'll retire for a season and come back and forth, kind of like Evan E-Mode. But we'll see if Toy ends up showing his face. It'd be great to see him play again. It's always a cool story, bro.
I'm pretty sure it is Monty probably coaching, more than likely not, though. I'm pretty sure it's just those 5, and it's Toy, Food, Jonji, tens, and 4-shot. And right now, they have this weird like fragability right now on this team that's just like kind of unmatched compared to other teams that may just have 1 star. You have Jonji, who's sitting at like the top of the team in terms of frags, and then you have Food, Tens, and Toy all just within like tightly packed together, all at like 94, and then it's 4-shot down at the bottom up in the 80s. Like, this team is really dynamic in terms of like they don't have like a particular star, they're just firing on all cylinders right now. They got wins against Jamju, Vikings, Pioneers, which is a big one, Blackout.
Yeah.
They also beat FYB, the brand new Swag AZK.
It's a good stance. I mean, I looked it up. I had to check now. You're right. Toy is actually playing. I just picked a random game in the Pioneers, and yeah, he was in there, kind of in the middle of the pack. I don't think he was blowing anybody out of the water with his stats or anything, but that's Toy. Toy will be a good addition to the team
for sure. And then my final thing that I wanted to mention for the MDL strings and Ian one modem right now. You can yell at him for me. I would prefer it if you did so for me. That would be great. Can Strings like make up his mind right now? He was on my favorite advanced team, Pug Life, and he won some games with them. And then he said, "No, I'm gonna go play with Josh RT in Prospects." I'm very upset. Okay, he ditched a good advanced team that he could have brought into playoffs, and then he's just like, "I want to play for Josh RT in a 1-5 Prospects.
I want a losing season."
Like, you went from 5-1 to 1-5. Strings, you have the same name as me, but you're much better at the game. But I think you might have made the wrong decision here.
So I mean, let's think about it. Let's think if there is a strategic move for him to just bump himself back into the Mountain Dew League.
Yes.
Is he trying to make himself more presentable to be picked up by another team?
Could be. He's on a team called Prospects. So, I mean, if somebody's like, wow, I want to find the newest prospect. Oh, let's go to this team called Prospects.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I like your idea of taking the advanced team and pushing them into the Mountain Dew League at that point. But there's teams that have success stories like that, and they come in and they're 16-0 from the last season. We bumped them up from open or something like that, and then they just get completely thrashed. It happens. It's a different ball game. But strings can come up to bat in Mountain Dew League. He's quality enough, but I don't know how much support he's going to get on that team. I agree with you.
Yeah. So do you think as a team, do you think that they've improved? Because I think player-wise, they have. But
no.
Record-wise?
No, they're still in trouble.
Yeah.
You're right with Josh RT point. We see Josh RT season after season after season be in a roster in the Mountain Dew League.
Mm-hmm.
Never really stood out as any of the teams that have been amazing, but he's there, you know. But if they're going to continue on at this pace, losing, it could be one of the relegated teams down to advanced.
And I'll be fair, is with Josh RT all the time, like, he's had a team called Prospects. That's just what his shtick is. So the last time he was in playoffs of Mountain Dew League, it wasn't even Mountain Dew League then. It was still Premier in season 22 when he had Sayonara and a Proto on his team, and he was kind of like building them up. Sayonara, unfortunately, said Sayonara. I'm sorry, Aloe, with the puns. I can't help myself.
You're gonna make
help myself. I'm sorry.
You're gonna make a great dad someday.
I know. So Sayonara is gone, but a Proto, he's usually doing quite well for himself. A solid player, especially in the Mountain Dew League. I think he's made quite a name for himself here. So I hope he's trying to do the same thing with Strings, and I hope he's trying to do the same thing with these other players that he's got on the team. And they're mostly Canadian, so shout out my boys. I'll try to support you as best as I can, but it's going to be hard. I swear to God. But yeah. That's all I got to say on that matter.
So the one team that I want to watch in the Mountain Dew League that you got to keep an eye on is going to be the Gorilla Gang. Anybody that you want to keep an eye on?
I mean, FYB. I'm going to be watching them. Bravado as well. I'm sorry, I
fanboy.
can't help myself. But Bravado is now 3-3 right now, and I really thought they were just going to start clean sweeping this league, and they're very much not doing so.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see how later in the season that'll work for them. So I'd say my fanboy answer is FYB, and then I'd say my legitimate answer is Bravado.
All right. I'm gonna say Gorilla Gang are gonna come swinging back. I'm gonna put Gorilla Gang on like a 5-win streak in the week to follow.
Clip that.
So
Clip that.
yeah, clip it. And if you're a betting man yourself, blame me. I am broke. I'm like a college student again. But we'll move over to our second topic. It's going to be the advanced division. So we go from Mountain Dew League down one tier to the advanced division. We also touched on strings coming up out of the advanced division. So what do we got here?
So we've got a couple teams that are taking me by surprise right now, but less so with this first one. Team 1, the Brazilian team who decided to move up to NA. Thankfully, the almighty NA, you've moved on up. They're actually doing quite well. Pretty sure they're 6-0 right now. I don't think their schedule is relevant to how well they're performing. It's Team 1. This is expected. I want them to succeed. They succeeded at WESG. They should succeed here. But their next game is actually against Glaucoma, who is another team that is currently undefeated. I'm pretty sure they're 5-0 right now. So one of them obviously is going to have to be defeated. And Glaucoma actually features J. Cruel, who's, I'm pretty sure he's going by Zanman right now. He has a bunch of ridiculous names that just I can't keep up with. His last name was like Naked, and then it was Cool. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but it's still J. Cruel.
He's the advanced divisions. Oh God, what's the player that changes his name so much? I would be able to remember it if he didn't change his name so much. God,
I would be able to help you.
He played for Ghost. I'm gonna look him up real quick. You think hard?
Dude, I don't know. Speaking of thinking, because I'm just gonna keep it rolling with the puns. Okay, I can't stop it. Mentality Esports is also
Connor 93. Got it. Sorry.
He changes his name all the time.
Connor used to change his name every time until he made it into the pro league. His name was different in every match. It's ridiculous to try and
like
keep track of him.
What did he do? Add another R?
No, dude, he was all over the place. His name was literally in different places every time. He just had no idea. And I just eventually just gave up. I just called him. I'm like, if you don't want to make a brand for yourself, then you don't want to make a brand for yourself. But now he seems pretty solidified on Connor 93.
Okay. We'll
sorry, continue.
No,
my brain was slow.
Don't worry. Mentality Esports, the last undefeated team of the advanced league. They're not beating teams that are crazy good, and I know I said for Team 1 their schedule is irrelevant, but that's actually just because they're insanely talented. I don't know if that's the case for Mentality Esports quite yet, considering the teams that they played are quite mid-tier to low-tier in terms of their winning record, and they owe it all to a guy named KMZ. I'm not too familiar with this lad, but he is currently the only player in the league who has over 100 rounds played so far. He's got 100 plus ADR. He has a full frag per round and a 15 plus RWS.
What team is this? What player on what team?
KMZ on Mentality Esports is fragging out right now. So regardless of who he's playing against, these are teams in advanced. So they're obviously decent. We're not talking about open teams that just randomly decided to play. They're decent teams, and he's fragging out. And he's a guy that I'm definitely keeping my eye on right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be my expert when it comes to the advanced division. Unless Reddit decides to make some post, I'm probably like most everybody else that's not going to pay attention to the advanced division. It's too, it's there. It's just kind of one of those things. Yeah.
I feel so bad for you. I'll leave that for another time, but I feel bad for the intermediate division. I feel like it doesn't get any love.
The more divisions they make, the less love each division gets.
Very true.
And I have a feeling that there might be more divisions in the creation in the future. Not just advanced.
Yeah, I agree. But also, like I was just kind of saying, somebody that I've never heard of in KMZ. In fact, a lot of players in the upper echelon of advanced teams, I've heard of nobody. So I kind of got to give them props for clearing out the clutter. Sorry, I've heard of advanced teams players, but they've cleared out the clutter of main. The top of main, I don't recognize at all. These guys are all new to me. And before, I could just rhyme off main players left and right. Now I probably can't name one. unless they're like, I'm pretty sure. No, Arya is in advanced, but he's just like on a low
Arya
level team.
is in advanced.
Arya is in advanced, and
Arya.
he's like near the bottom. Yeah.
Why?
Like he's on a team of players I've never heard of.
How far the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, he's not doing so hot so far. And then everybody's favorite advanced love child, it's CLG Red. Everybody's favorite advanced team.
2-3 on the season.
Yes, they are 2-3, and Dust2 actually recently did an interview with a player who's played with Miss Harvey on Team X when they went to WESG to compete in the female tournament. A female player named Mask. I thought this was really interesting because obviously I don't know the dynamics of a female team. I've never been on one, considering I'm a guy, and I've never actually been on a team, considering I suck. So Mask kind of like laid it out in terms of like what being in a female team is like. And I thought it was really interesting how like they actually talk about their feelings. So
that is actually really cool. That's actually a really interesting topic. So that you're right. I mean, out of that interview, they say they talk about their feelings, and sorry to be like stereotypical, but usually like when you have a bunch of guys together, they just, I mean, you can rag on each other and everybody's feelings are out there. But is it different for Counter-Strike then? When you have the animosity over the internet, it's just so much easier to talk behind the back. Do the guys take the fall here, like the fault?
Yeah, I guess. And like this other, like I found it funny. It's like when something's going wrong in game, they like they take a step back from the game. They get together, like say they're like CLG Red, they have their own team house and stuff like that. So it's like they just sit on the couch, get a couple snacks, and it's like, I don't like the way you play B. And they're just like, I can't help myself. I play B the way I play B, okay? And they're just like, we can help you. It's okay. It's like a counseling session is how I kind of imagine it. But like with guys, we bottle it up. We're sitting here and we're pissed. We're JDM, like leaning back. I just knocked over my controller. It's okay. We're JDM leaning back, playing our game. And it's like, we're just pissed, right? We're just like, let's bottle up this emotion. This guy sucks, man. He's terrible, but I'm not going to say anything because I'm a guy. I keep my emotions right on my chest, man. I don't say nothing. So I find it kind of funny and interesting that like that's kind of the dynamic with female gamers.
I mean, there are teams that they have like team psychologists, right?
Which is awesome.
I mean, that's basically CLG Red's doing that role amongst the team, which is pretty cool.
And Twice says since he coached CLG Red, they could seriously be good if they got the basics down. I mean, I'd hope you'd have the basics down if you're in advance, but I mean, yeah, it kind of seems like that is kind of the issue. They're really good about giving constructive criticism in a non-edgy way. That's probably the best thing about females is that they're less edgy.
But at the same time, that statement in itself is like so shrouded in mystery. Like, what does that mean?
I guess it's just like, how do I give? Maybe edgy isn't the right word. Maybe confrontational and aggressive is maybe the way that they don't do it. They don't do it in like a super like, dude, you suck. Why do you play like this? They're like, they're at least nice about it. Like they just pat you on the face. They're like, it's okay. It's okay.
Pat you on the face.
They're like, we can help you get better. It's okay.
Goofy.
And you can tell that they genuinely want to get better. Well, yeah, for sure. That's probably why they applied to be in advanced. They're like, look, we're in this like, we're like sub 500 every season. We're at 500, whatever. Let's go up and then see what happens. And I think it would be poetic if they just had another 8-8.
Yeah.
That would be my favorite thing.
That'd be. I'd like to see CLG Red actually. What I'd love to see from CLG Red is just the fact that they're competitive enough that they don't get relegated. You know, everybody's looking to CLG Red this season to see if them get relegated, and right now they're on a pace not to get relegated. So I'd like to see them just shove it in everybody's face and say, "Yeah, guess what? We're as good, if not better, than most of the teams that are here. We're above that 50% mark."
Yeah, and like Twice says here, teammates don't give constructive criticism. Usually there's someone talking behind someone's back, and that's kind of at the MDL level. It's like, that's how roster swaps happen. Like, especially in all the pug teams, like that's usually how it goes. Like, you shift tab and you're on your Steam Messenger and you're just going crazy on the keyboard like this guy.
Yeah, looking for another player, or like even worse, you vent your team's problems to somebody that's not in the team. Like that's the worst.
That's a surefire way to have the whole team just get destroyed.
Right. So with let's see, Advanced Division, anything else? We mentioned Strings was moving on up in the world, I guess.
Yes. And I saw Devine in here. I don't know your thoughts, but if you're still here, Devine, I'd love to get your thoughts on Strings abandoning you and leaving you for Josh RT and Prospects. And he left. He abandoned you like a teenage mother with a baby on a doorstep of an orphanage. Like this is
getting personal. I mean, the first thing I thought of was the scene in Jurassic Park when the lawyer leaves the kids in the car. It's like,
yeah,
he left us. He left us. And then the T-Rex just bites the dude in half.
All right.
But that'll be the end of the Advanced Division. Let's move on to even lower or higher in some cases, the Open bracket, the Open Division.
Yes.
The Old Guys Club in Open still undefeated, and I presume they'll be undefeated throughout the season. But one thing I actually learned from them today was the fact that it looks to me like they're doing it for charity. On their team page.
That's awesome.
Yeah, on their team page. Let me pull it up right quick and in a hurry. Right there. Come on, ESEA, your website's faster than this. Yeah.
ESEA post at few. Your site is slow.
They're teamed up with Gamers Outreach and Double Tap with a goal to raise $3,500 for go-karts in hospitals in the Los Angeles area. How cool is that?
I mean, I think that's awesome. Like, obviously they went into it and everybody knew they were just going to body everybody. So that was expected. So at least they're bodying, but at least when the people lose, they know that it's for a good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Maybe that helps, or they're just still pissed off.
The thing is, they've only raised $95 so far. So I'm not saying that the word's not out there enough, but the word needs to get out there more. So that's what we're doing right now.
Like right now, they're just donating McChickens. Like that's about it.
No go-karts here yet. Not for $95, but hopefully, attention will be drawn to that aspect of the team, and I don't know, every win they get a donation or something like that. That'd be nice.
That would be pretty sweet. So the team right now currently undefeated, but so are 77 other teams.
78, something like that.
Well, 78 teams total. 77 other teams.
All right.
Are undefeated still. So do you think we wait to question Open's legitimacy so far for the playoffs? Because we had the Advanced Division thing, and then these guys came in and they're just like, oh, hey, nice Advanced Division. We're going to go on Open. It's all good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
The thing is, Open is divided in itself. You've got the Eastern Conference, the Western Conference, and that's where all the teams come from. Like if you scroll down Open enough, you go from the Western Conference to Eastern, whatever, and there's just multiple sets of teams. I think it was like 32 teams undefeated in one division, 28 in the other, and then 18 in the next. So it's just like, yes, there are a lot of teams undefeated right now, but I don't see that as a problem. I looked at last season's Open, and there's like one, maybe two teams still undefeated, and those are the ones that end up getting bumped up into the Mountain Dew League every now and then anyways. So
and at least now we have the Advanced Division to hopefully sift those like Open teams that make MDL and then just get trashed, much like 46-2 right now, where they just they went 15-1 regular season, went through Open, get the bump, and now they're going to get bumped down.
Yeah, so I'm just bringing up last season's Open anyways. Why is it showing 8-0? That's not right. But I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of teams. 256 in one division, 142 more, and another 261. And another 300 some more. So I mean, you're talking like 1,000 some teams.
Yeah.
In Open. There's gonna be undefeated teams all the way up till like week 8, week 9.
For sure. And I actually got my response here for Devine on the whole string situation. I get why he left, and he warned us that it might happen when we picked him up. So at least he was a good guy about it. He's like, "Well, come in, I'll help you."
He didn't bottle it up. Are you saying? You're saying
Yeah.
he didn't bottle it up inside, like we were talking
Exactly.
earlier?
Yeah. He took the CLG Red approach. The props to Strings though, because Josh RT was trying to get him to leave before our 2 matches this week, and Strings made it a point to not F us over. I'll keep it PG. To F us over right before that. So, yeah. And he seems like that kind of guy. Like when I was at Mad City, Chicago, I'm pretty sure I interviewed Strings. And just from like that interview, he seems like a pretty good, decent dude. So at least he didn't do that to my baby pug life. I'll always rep the set on that one.
Yeah, I don't. Just to hammer that point home again, I don't think Open needs any more splitting. I think the divisions in it are good enough. Maybe they even go from East, West, Central, and maybe even go like Northeast, Northwest, or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even narrow that down even further. But like we said earlier in the show, the more divisions you make, the less attention those divisions get.
Yeah. Maybe one day they'll have like just a California league.
Yeah.
There'll be enough teams in California that'll work.
It's not a bad idea. It's not terrible.
At few.
I mean, a lot of like collegiate. I say collegiate division. I mean, there a lot of colleges are starting to make esports an activity at universities. So AVGL, you're getting university teams. That's not that much different than having state teams. University of Kentucky, I think, is the only real Counter-Strike team in Kentucky. I don't think there's a Bowling Green or U of L or anything like that. So I mean, it represents the state,
which is good.
Yeah, it's very good. But I think there's a balance to be struck in that, because the more divisions you make, the less attention they get, the less reputable less reputation each division has. But at the same time, when you increase the amount of divisions the more competitive levels you reach. I mean, you're sharpening your pencil when you're coming to that competitive edge. You're starting to narrow down and putting better teams against better teams each time. But of course, the cream of the crop is what everybody looks at anyways. It's MDL and then Pro. I mean, Pro, depending if it's on Facebook or not. Mountain Dew if it's on Twitch. Depends which one's easier to watch.
Oh, man. Facebook is no bueno.
I think it's over, man. I think the dark days of that streaming platform are over. Thank God.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But our final, I guess our fourth.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not our final one.
No, it's not the final. We had some short notice news come up, but we'll talk about Fragadelphia 12 real quick.
So it's coming up in August. They finally announced it. It's gonna be on 908 North 3rd Street. I thought it was very
right here.
Yeah. Repping it. I thought it was pretty anticlimactic how like they had the PUBG circle and it just closed in right where it was kind of expected.
So I have rumors, and then I have some solid information I'll provide to everybody. I heard rumors that Fragadelphia was going to be held in Toronto.
Ooh.
Okay, fine. That met up with the fact that their PUBG circle included Toronto in that list, or in that area for quite some time. But when DreamHack came around just this past weekend, Steven, owner and CEO of Fragadelphia, and John, owner and CEO of Nerd Street, had a nice heart-to-heart, mended, and brought the action back home into Philadelphia, where Fragadelphia it was born, and I feel belongs at home.
Well, good for them for having that little discussion, because now we're keeping Fragadelphia in Philadelphia. So I like that. Keep the name legit. So in the last Fragadelphia, which was the most stressful part of my entire life, Frag 11, Ownage won that. Ownage was Swag, Whitmer, Davey, Mitch, and Caboose. And they beat Rise Nation at like 3 a.m. in a best of 5 to just ruin my life. And Rise Nation at the time, it was Moose, Ace, Dazzle, VSA, and John G. But now we all know that Rise is now United. They picked up Relics and Dapper, got rid of VSA and John G. So now, does United just come back and win. Because I think,
maybe. I mean, we've seen pro teams come out there. Complexity came out there last time. They didn't win it. It's happened before. That lower tier pro CS comes out and they flounder against some of the pug teams that end up coming out. And that's what the whole draw of the whole event is. You can make a team of 5. Signups are live right now. You can go out there and make a team play against these pro teams in a LAN setting and possibly beat them. Make some upsets happen. It happens every season. There's always a dark horse that comes in and it just surprises everybody.
And then what I want to know, am I going to Fragadelphia? Topical, help me out here.
I mean, you're welcome to come. We're not barring you from the premises, but by all means, you're welcome to show up. So is everybody. It's an open event. It's open. Everybody can come.
Like, do I have to buy a ticket?
Oh, into Fragadelphia?
Yeah,
I'll put you in. I'll put you in on a press pass. Tell you that.
Ooh,
you'll get in.
Okay,
I'll put you in.
Okay, so say I'm Joe Smith from right down the street in Philadelphia, and I want to come watch Fragadelphia. Am I shelling out a few bucks?
Yeah. You there's a spectator's fee, and if you want to compete, there's a competitor's fee. Right now, as it is, Frag Online is the 30th of June through July 1st weekend, or that weekend in there somewhere. But if you compete, you have the chance to come for free anyways, even if you're from across the country. So I say we, wow, got to break those habits. Fragadelphia provides travel and entry free if you win the tournament. So if you get first place, it's free entry and travel. Second place is like travel, and third place is entry, I believe. So that's value coming down. So if you compete, you get top 3. You're going to get helped to show up and bring your competitive level to the tournament.
Okay, not bad. And for the first time, I think, Battalion 1944 is included in Fragadelphia. That'll
be interesting. The first thing I saw when I saw that, I tweeted immediately to Lex from Mythic. I was like, Lex, you coming? Like, this built for you. Lex is actually a pretty prominent 1944 player now,
and as well as probably not as prominent, but who was once Thug Waffle from the team I guess he was on Eclipse, so before they became Rise Nation, he was there, and then he became Bergie, which is just off. Should have always kept Thug Waffle, but he is also a Battalion 1944 player, so I wonder if he'll make his way over to Philly to do that.
It'll bring a lot of attention, for sure. But everybody needs to go check it out now. Am I shaking my desk? I see, like...
Are you?
Yeah, I think I am. Unless I was nodding in the corner of my eye, it looked like my screen was just shaking. But we'll fix it. we'll glue down the camera from now on. But it'll be a competitive scene. Speaking of competitive grassroots scene, we're going to have to start picking up the pace a little bit. We're actually running out of time, but we just got back from DreamHack over the weekend.
Yes.
DreamHack Austin, an amazing event. We've got so much content coming to everybody that's watching. We interviewed Summit. We interviewed a ton of people. Also Random. We interviewed, God, their names are escaping. Prius. We interviewed everybody. It was a fantastic event. Really well put together. And all in all, even the CSGO side for the tournament, I mean, there were CSGO, StarCraft, Smash Bros, PUBG tournaments, everything. But when it came to the CSGO side of things, it came down to Space Soldiers and Rogue.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's too surprising, because I feel like Space Soldiers, it's kind of like their time, especially in like an event as like, I'd say second tier, because there was Star Ladder, I'm pretty sure, going on at the same time.
Okay.
Pretty sure that was happening. So it was kind of like the tier 2 of the pro scene all going to this event. So it doesn't surprise me, but I think Rogue actually making it into the finals is kind of surprising. And on home soil.
Yes, home soil. I still don't see that team as an NA team.
Dude, it's 3 NA guys on a 5-man team. Come on.
I mean, it wasn't NA. It didn't used to be that way. But like when I casted their games back in, a year ago at this point. It feels like down in Los Angeles at Asus ROG. It was not NA. I mean, you had Hiko, but I don't remember any other NA players on that team. But it's been shifted. It's kind of towards the NA scene.
Yes.
But I was hoping a little bit more from E United on that series. Yeah, DreamHack.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the case with the United all the time. Whenever they go to a LAN, it's like, when are you just gonna win it? When are you gonna make a final? When are you gonna win it? When are you gonna have like this breakout game? Like for seasons upon seasons, they dominated MDL. And then anytime they go international, even to DreamHack, which I guess technically is an international event, but like it's just
there might be some Canadians on the team.
Is that the reason why they lose Topical? Is that it? You got something to say? You got something to say about Canada?
It's international. You said it was international. It's a different nation. But I'd like to see more from them, and that's what we were talking about. You mentioned E United coming to Philadelphia, and I'm thinking, no, I think someone could beat them. It could really, really happen.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, considering they don't win.
Yeah. But the last topic, it was breaking news that came out on OP Skins.
Yes.
Apparently a tweet was sent to OP Skins, not a tweet, a DM from CSGO dev or Valve, a lawyer from Valve DMs OP Skins, and basically gives them a cease and desist saying you have till 21st of June or something to stop using Valve properties,
intellectual property,
right, such as the models of the guns and what skins are there and everything else like that, which seems heavy-handed. Yes, there are other websites that use the models and use the skins by all means, but OP Skins have kind of been living a pretty prosperous life for as long as they have, considering the banhammer came down on the whole gambling and trading scene a year and change ago.
And it's pretty much all because of the express trade feature that they brought in. Like, even in the link of the blog, it's literally blog counterstrike.net/express trade. Like, it's basically all boiled down to that. They were like, oh, they're avoiding our 1 week trade system. Okay, get them out of here.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go against the grain against Valve. If Valve puts something in the way of your operations and you go around it, you're slapping them in the face and they'll come down hard on you. They're very lenient about a lot of stuff, but if they have intentionally put something down to try and slow down scammers or bettors or anything else like that, and you run around that, they're going to hit you hard. So I mean, I'm just saying, if you've got something on OP Skins right now, you gotta jump off. Get off that airplane quick.
Yeah, unless they're in super top secret maintenance, like their tweet said, then your skins might be gone, buddy.
I mean, I swear that happened on some of those gambling sites. There were a lot of complaints when Valve hit hard. They did. There was a lot of people saying like, I never got my skins back. I think a lot of those websites were shady and had quote unquote skins, but they didn't actually have the skins. They were just represented as items on the website. Yeah, and I think those things. I mean, a lot of those people just never saw the light of day when it came to their money again. So, I mean, that's a risk you take.
Yeah, the gambling is a risk, and hoping that the gambling places don't take your money is another gamble.
I mean, only a couple people ruined it for everybody. I mean, if you think about it, oh God, what was the one that everybody loved? CSGO
Lounge.
That was it. And Dota Lounge. That one had reputation. That was the only one that I think held their reputation through the whole dark days of CSGO betting and gambling skins being tarnished. They held true. And when Valve came in and said, you have to stop, they stopped. But they kind of stopped. Now you can they have some kind of stopgap where you get coins. But
that's useless. It's they have no monetary value. They're like, feed your real money into this and get fake money, but then don't have your fake money turned into real money somehow. Like it's broken.
Right.
There's no
if I want to get my rocks off on gambling, I can open up a an Excel sheet and do the same thing without
Yeah.
putting my money into a black hole.
Very true.
But yeah,
And
it'll
I'm-
be interesting to see how that develops. I think it's a rip OP Skins. From what I understand, OP Skins is pushing something out saying now that they're under a quick maintenance to try and beat this deadline, to get some workaround before this deadline happens.
Maintenance.
But again, you're working around Valve. You can't win.
Yeah. Like, they own everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
Like the second you use their API, they're like, okay, we have you by the balls. Like,
That's right.
without directly telling you, you basically like hook up your own balls to a chain against a wall that just says Valve. Like,
I mean, I would have
That's a-
accepted any form of control, but you went to the whole BDSM side of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I swear I don't have
mean,
some sort of
it's a
dark
short-
behind the
short
scenes life.
leash.
Okay.
I mean, they've got you by the neck, or they got
Yeah.
a short leash on you. But
Any
we're all right.
analogy would have worked. Maybe one that didn't go like that one.
Our PG rating just went to PG-13 rating.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's all the topics I think we have for the day. That's our
Yes.
whole hour that we managed to stretch out. We covered everything from MDL down to the Advanced Division to Open, and then we talked about Fragadelphia and how everybody should participate there as well,
Yes.
by all means. And then even some breaking news that not many people have reported on quite yet.
And then we have our own breaking news. We are moving the show.
No, that's right. We're looking to do it on Mondays from now on,
Yes.
because Friday evenings, not only do I want to go have a good Friday night and weekend,
Yes.
but you do as well out there in space.
Yes.
I'm not talking
I do.
about you. You're apparently chained to the wall.
What? No. I promise. I'm chainless. I haven't made a gambling site. I haven't used the Valve API. Okay, I'm good. I'm clean. I'm clean.
Yeah, but we're going to allow people to have some free weekends, and not have to sit and watch us on Friday evenings. We're going to shift it to Monday evenings. And that'll be the end of the show for the
Yes.
day. Episode 2 concludes, as we hope everybody else has a fantastic night. Have a fantastic weekend. Make sure you're well fed. Put some sunscreen on out there, guys. It's going to get hot.
I
You
need
guys
some
watching.
too. Look how
Yeah.
white I am.
Yeah, right. Yeah, dude, I'm browning up. I'm taking the Jeep out for about a 450-mile drive. Hopefully, I don't get too sunburned. But everybody
Or
else,
crash.
keep safe out there. We'll be back on the 18th or so, Monday. See you then. Thanks for watching Drop Room.